Hello everyone, Michael the Librarian of Magic here, finding and cataloging the magical and pointing you to it. Today is the 18th of October, and I have returned with another Halloween drawing, another Halloween treat for you. The same disclaimers on these drawings as always apply. See my first video, as always, if you want to know more about that. With that out of the way, today's Halloween treat. Going a little deeper into the Disney archive on this one, the Big Bad Wolf. From all the silly symphonies of the 30s, pretty much. This image is straight from a still from the Three Little Pigs, and of course, the words and embellishment are mine. Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? I wanted to include that nod because the song is also really important to that particular short, which eventually won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. And the song had something to do with that as well. So the Big Bad Wolf did first appear in The Three Little Pigs in 1933, that silly symphony short, but was not limited to that one-time use. In the same year, he also made a little cameo in the silly symphony short Old King Cole, disguised as Grandma. In the sort of King Cole invites a bunch of people to a party, and he's there. You'll find the Big Bad Wolf pops up in various cameos quite a bit in disguises. That's kind of part of his shtick. Is he's always in disguise as one thing or another. In 1934, the Big Bad Wolf appeared in a animated short called The Big Bad Wolf, which is essentially Red Riding Hood. In that one, he just plays the wolf in the Red Riding Hood story. In 1936, there's a short called Three Little Wolves, in which he appeared, which is sort of a riff on The Boy Who Cried Wolf, but it involves the Three Little Pigs. And that one also involves the wolf. The Big Bad Wolf has sons, 3 sons of his own. That's why the short is called Three Little Wolves. And essentially, one of the pigs keeps raising the wolf alarm that the wolves are coming, but they're not actually coming, a la the Boy Who Cried Wolf, and eventually they do find out that they're being stalked by the sons of the Big Bad Wolf. And then in 1939, the wolf featured in the silly symphony short The Practical Pig, which also features the same 3 little pigs, but in this one, the tables are turned on the Big Bad Wolf, who's trying to capture the pigs while they're swimming, but the Practical Pig uses a lie detector to ensnare the Big Bad Wolf, essentially. In more modern times, the Big Bad Wolf was featured on The House of Mouse, which is a great series. Again, Disney, please put that on Disney+. And he was featured in the second episode prominently playing the character of Big Bad Wolf Daddy, which is sort of a swing band leader, a riff on Big Bad Voodoo Daddy kind of thing. And the Three Little Pigs play his sort of backup group. He makes the claim that they're working under contract, but the contract is basically, as long as they play, I won't eat them. And he's sort of a zoot-suited band leader, which is kind of a fun little riff on the Big Bad Wolf. He also has a little cameo in Mickey's Christmas Carol. He's disguised as Santa on street corners, so it's kind of like another one of those disguise ones where you have to be paying attention to see him pop up in the background sometimes. He was featured in a couple of small little spots in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. In those instances, he was voiced by Tony Pope. In the original incarnation of the Big Bad Wolf, he was voiced by Billy Bletcher, who was a actor that worked with Disney back in the day in various roles in on the stage and in old school film. And Tony Pope, as I said, in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. In more recent years, would you believe Jim Cummings? He gets used as well. He shows up, the Big Bad Wolf shows up in a couple of cameo roles in the 20-teens Mickey Mouse short run, which, if you've never seen those are on Disney Plus, and they're really, really worthwhile. They're very great. He shows up in the short Sock Burglar from 2016, in which Minnie Mouse is trying to catch a sock thief, and he's one of the suspects. He makes a little cameo there, and also in the short from 2017, The Perfect Dream, which is a Mickey Mouse short from that time. So the Big Bad Wolf sort of pops up in all of these different roles. He hasn't gone away throughout all of the years, he sort of has the ability to disguise himself and pop up as needed throughout time, and it's kind of cool that he was really kind of there at the beginning with Walt Disney Studios, and they've kind of never really let him go ever since. He's not a huge prominent character, but he's never really gone away. His full name officially is Zeke Midas Wolf. That's something that was flushed out in Walt Disney Comics back in the 30s. It was eventually added over time that his full name is Zeke Midas Wolf. And yeah, they just sort of keep using the character in different incarnations and adding to it as it goes. He's always able to pop up in disguises and things like that. I'm really happy with the way that this drawing turned out. It was cool to be able to do a little nod to the big bad wolf, and make people a little bit more aware of him, and remind myself about some of the instances in which he's popped up over the years. I learned some stuff making this video. I didn't know all of the cameos and short films and stuff that he's been in. I thought it was only a couple, and it turns out to be, even in the early days, a pretty significant batch. And given the role that the Three Little Pigs plays in the sort of beginning of Walt Disney Studios and the Silly Symphony era, he's an important character in the early life of Walt Disney Animation, which makes him an important character in the history of the development of that studio and everything we know it to be now. The Big Bad Wolf has appeared as a walk-around character in the Disney parks, as well as the Three Little Pigs. They don't use him as much nowadays. They sort of phase out some of the older characters for some of the newer, more recognizable characters. But he does get used for special events, like the Halloween parties and Villains After Dark events and stuff like that. He was used occasionally at the end of Fantasmic. There's a lot of characters that appear on one of the boats at the end. He's sort of been phased out of that. He is a pretty prominent walk-around character in some of the Asian Disney parks, like Hong Kong and Tokyo Disney. So you may see him there if you ever end up there in the future, whenever it's safer to travel. But he's still around. You never know when you're going to see him pop up. That's the Big Bad Wolf. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks as always for following these each day. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe were surprised to see the Big Bad Wolf, or maybe he's one of your favorite characters. I don't know. Let me know down below if you have any associations with that. Maybe you liked his turn on House of Mouse, for example. Anyway, let me know. Thanks as always for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for following along for the whole month of October. I'll see you tomorrow when I come back with another villain drawing. Until then, have a great day, and we'll see ya. Bye-bye.